All right, we are going to be talking about horizontal lines and vertical lines. Now, these are just a couple special things that can happen with either slope-intercept form for horizontal lines or for standard form for vertical lines. Let's start off with horizontal lines. The equation of every single horizontal line is in the form y equals some number. Now, notice there is no x in this problem at all, okay? There is no x. So when you look at that, what we do know is that the slope m for every horizontal line is always 0, which means we have no rise, but we have run, okay? The number is the y-intercept, or the b, and this is where it crosses the y-axis. So when we look at a horizontal line, it's always of the form y equals a number. There's no x in the problem anywhere. The slope is always 0 because we have no rise, but we do have run. And the y-intercept is the number that's given. So the steps to graphing it are simple. We just label the slope and the y-intercept. We plot the y-intercept, and then we draw a horizontal line through the y-intercept. Now, vertical lines are the equation x equals some number. So if you notice, there will be no y in the problem. So the y is no longer there. The slope for every single vertical line is undefined. And the reason it's undefined is because we have rise, but we have no run. The number that is there is the x-intercept, or the a, and this is where it crosses the x-axis. So once again, vertical lines equation, x equals a number, no y in the problem at all. The slope is undefined, and the number that they give me is the x-intercept. So the steps to graph it is we label the slope and the intercept. We plot the x-intercept. We draw a vertical line through that x-intercept, and there is our graph. All right, so let's try it. So here we go. We're going to start on the first side. I notice that it's y equals -3. There's no x in the problem, so that means my slope is 0. My intercept is -3. It says y equals -3, so 1, 2, 3. I plot my y-intercept, and I draw the horizontal line through the y-intercept. Now remember, that means that every single point on here, for example, this point right here, would be 2, -3. This point over here would be -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -3. Why is it, if you notice, all of the y's are going to be -3? Because that's what the equation tells us. It says, hey, no matter what you give me for x, the y value is always going to be -3. Okay, let's try the next one. So y equals 2. I notice again, no x in the problem. So my slope is 0. My intercept is 2. So I come up 2. I put my dot. I plot my y-intercept. And then at that point, I draw my horizontal line. And there is my graph. Okay, let's try a couple with x equals. So I notice here, x equals 4. There's no y in the problem. So my slope is undefined. And my intercept is 4. So I come over to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I come over onto the x-axis because that is my x-intercept, because it says x equals 4. No matter what I give you for y, the x value is always 4. We draw our vertical line through it, and there is my graph. Okay, one more. We'll try this one. X equals -5. So my slope is undefined. There's no y in the problem, so I know it's a vertical line. My intercept is -5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put my x-intercept. The reason it's an x-intercept is because it's x equals -5. At that, I draw my vertical line through that point, and there is my graph. And that is vertical and horizontal lines.